And I am the database guy. We are at video, let me see here. It should be video 4. In our presentation 7, video 4, got to get that right. We are on forms. And let's go to our database. I want to go over where we, or at least go over where we are. We're in our front end here. So let's open this up. And we were here. We sort of got the aesthetics right. Now we left off and I said I wanted to find out why this was happening. Well, I know why it's happening. It's a little glitch in Access, and I forgot about this. There's so many little nuances that happen that uh, cause this to, or what I should say, cause these little things to happen. Even if you don't have, and in the case of the one above, the case of this, the main form, which is linked to the controls above, these are subforms. We have a subform listing our books, and we have a subform for our author. When you have a subform, or even a main form, now the one in white, because the background is in white, even if it's in this one, which it is, this one here, the background is a bluish color, right? But it is setting its focus for this particular control. So within this, okay, what happens is you have to set the focus somewhere else. And I don't want to, if I set the focus, and I believe we tried this to another control, it's just going to highlight that control. And we don't want to do that. So for example, here, or here, or here, which is originally where it was. Generally what you can do is, and we're going to do this now, I'm going to go into my design view. All right, so actually what I'm going to do, let's close this down for a moment. We're going to open up the actual actual form or subform, and that does one, not this one. Well, yes, it is this one. So we're going to open this up, and let's see. Right, we're going to maximize here. Now, what I'm going to do is this foreign key here. We're going to select it, right-click on it, go to Properties. You know how this works. You select the control, you right-click on it, you go to its properties. One of the properties of a control is visible. We're going to say, no, we don't need that control visible. We don't need to see that one. It should be hidden anyway. We're seeing the publisher here. That's the foreign key for the publisher. Let's go back and look at that so you know, right? Foreign key pub text PID, which is different over here, right-click on this one, than field pub text publisher. Right, they're unique. We know. One of them we know is the publisher. The actual name is text publisher. The other one is the ID as text PID. Now, do we need to see the ID here on this? No, we don't. We don't even have to have the control there, to be honest with you, because we're not going to add anything to it. But we'll leave it just for the it's not necessary because we're not connecting to anything to it. All right. Then we come to our square, and we're going to right-click here. And by the way, I don't know if I said this, but please like and subscribe. Again, it's all free to you. I'm doing this for you. We're going to go to our tab order and look at our tab order, and we're going to drag this down just a little bit. So in our detail here, we have ISBN, title, year, publisher, and then, of course, the foreign key publisher ID. We're going to bring this up. Let's see, and let's save that. You can do it two ways. We can either X out of this, it'll ask us to save it, and certainly we will. We go into it now. Okay, so here, what we're going to do here is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this author subform, and I'm going to close the main form down. What I want to do, or actually we'll do it in design view here. You know what, we have enough. So what we need to do is to create some more real estate here. We're going to select our ISBN and, whoops, sorry, and here. What I want to do is make them smaller because I don't need them to be so big. And you can select both. And if you drag on both, you're going to have both resized identically. We're going to then roll this down. All right. Select the entire subform. Bring it in. Actually, we can't do that. I forgot. Once we do that, we're just moving it to the left. So let me show you that again so you can see what actually happens. It's one of these nuances again with Access. So we get the little handlebars there. When we move it, we are moving it in, but we're moving it away from what we want to see. We're going to select all of them and move them over here. And let's see. Let's select the whole. And let's move the other side in a little bit, just a little bit. That'll probably be okay. Now, what we're going to then do here is coming in from details, we're going to try to select every control that's in here. And we're going to see if we can move this over, which is what we intend to do. Good. So that's fine. Okay, let's see if we look under view and how that looks. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We're going to then go into our design view. Whoops, sorry, form layout design view. And we're going to then take this and this selected together, and we're going to move them the other side. Let's see, we're going to get some room here. This is good. Okay. Now you may ask the question, we opened up space on one side, but not on the other. That's correct. Whoops, wrong scroll bar right here. Okay, so let's, all right. And now we need to do here is to select these guys here, or gals if you want, however you want to call them. And we're going to move them over. So let's see. Oh, wait a minute. We have to. Oh, let's see where they are right now from here. Okay, good. And a little bit more. Okay, let's control and arrow the opposite way. There we go. And let's look at the other end of our form, and let's drag this in a little bit and tighten things up. All right, let's take a view on this one. So we're going to go to our form design again, and we're going to go to our view button. And as you can see, we're a little bit off, all right, which is not terrible. We're going to live with it for a little bit. And what we're going to do in design view here is we are going to move this, whoops, sorry, control Z. We're going to select all of our controls here. Yep. That's one of the things you got to, sometimes it's better to work within. All right. And we're going to move these away just a little bit. And what we're going to do is, let's see, we're going to look at how far we are. We're going to move this end too. You don't want to have extra space hanging out there because it will just create that subform to be a little bit larger than you need it. And then on this here, see, we're going to, oh yeah, here we can't. We have to select them individually because we have that box there. We're going to move these over just a little bit, and we're going to go to view. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, we got to bring it back. Okay, so again, it takes a little bit of aesthetics. Here we go. Right, we're going to move this back. Now you notice too that the controls in the main form never seem to line up exactly with the controls on the subform. And that's due to the fact that the subform has a border. That's good. Okay, that's good. Now, while we're here, we're going to save it. We're going to hit our save button instead of having to close it. Now it's saved. I think what we will do is let's go into design view and give us a little polish. We're going to take this box and move it out just a little bit. Let's try to view that and see how it looks. Very good. Now, you are seeing here, we're seeing this number here. And that's our PID. You could have sworn we hidden that, but we didn't. Or maybe we didn't. So let's just check to make sure it's hidden. Maybe we didn't save it. So let's go and scroll down, scroll across in the subform. There it is. Let's see, properties and format and visible should be no. So that should be no. We're going to hit save just to make sure we commence that. Now you don't have to. And let's go to our form design and our view. And it's gone, which is good. Now publisher is gone too. So we must have inadvertently hidden that one instead of hitting the ID. So let's go to publisher, and I'm betting that's what I did. Moving as quickly as I am, and yes, it is. Publisher is the one that wasn't visible, the ID was. All right, we're gonna now format and view. We don't even have to save at this point. There we go. All right. So we're where we want to be. Perhaps we could bring this form up a little bit. I think we don't need that much space there, but let's go to design view and let's take a look as we scroll vertically down. Yeah, so here it is. You can see the difference here. So what we're going to do here, let's see. You can do it from the top and then move this up. Okay, that should work. I couldn't grab the little connector here because it was off the screen, and as I scrolled as far down as I couldn't get it. So let's see how we are. Okay, looking good. Um, so let's do one more thing here while we're here. I think the border on our, let's check the border on this one here. Is it on or off? Again, right click around the border, properties. Let's see, format, border style solid. So there is a border style on there. Whoops, I just hit dashed. Okay. So that's solid. Let's look over here. This one here, we just have to click on the outside as long as we're in the properties window. This border style is transparent, so let's put this one as solid. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go back to our form design and view. And now we're more uniform. Now we can see borders around things and so on. By the way, you don't need to have this, you don't want to have this scroll bar sitting here. You can scroll with your mouse up and down as well. Let's do a save. And now we need to add something to this, as I said. Now this is going to be our first control button we're going to add. So we're going to go into design view. And we are going to look for the command button, which is this one here. Now you remember that our wizard's on. It's checked off down there. You could check off the wizard and do things manually, and at some point I will show you that. Now I'm going to click the command button. And let's see, we're going to move it over a little bit. Let's right click and go to properties. And as you can see here, it's got a caption in it. We're going to go to this name here. We're going to name this CMD delete. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not delete. What am I doing? Edit. Edit BK. Let's see. No, wait. CMD for command. If you want BTN for button, if you want to keep with that motif, that's fine with me. EDIT, BKDE. So we know that it's in the data entry. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Actually, CMD, DEEDIT, BK. We'll set everything with data entry first. That's the way I'm doing it. Now, I can't see that name there that is in there. So a picture would be helpful. Let's see on the pictures here. Um, that's the arrangement of the picture caption. Um, we have a caption here. Let's see. There is picture says none. That's what we're looking for. So we go to that here and we click. Now, if we click the ellipsis on the, if I drop it down, I there's nothing on the drop down. All right. The drop down would assume you would have pictures saved somewhere. And we can look through here. Let's see. See if we have some sort of. Let's see, edit filter. No, that's edit filter. Um, so there's a lot of them, as you can see here. Just see something. Notepad, notes. Refresh, rich text. See if I can find an edit. I'm looking for an edit capability with an icon. If we hit browse, let me just see what it does. A browse is going to bring us to our browser where we could find an image. Now the images are going to be usually bitmaps. So let's see, text, no, trash can would be a delete. Let's see, yeah, it would be a delete. Undo would be an undo. Update query is obviously an update query, and so on. Word is a word, well, not a word icon, it's a wizard. Okay, never mind. So let's see. Arrow up, arrow down. Nope. Just trying to find where we might have something that would look like an edit. Clear, clear row, check mark. Might not be one here, by the way. Let's see. Well, there's a delete here. Delete's an X. And these are all standard with Access. Delete query, delete record, design view, duplicate record, edit filter, envelope. All right, I don't see an edit here. Let me see in my pictures if I have. I don't have anything. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I thought I had an edit icon stored somewhere. And these are bitmaps it's looking for, all right? If I do all files, yeah, okay. So flaps, delete title, no. All right. Uh, let us just pick one for the time being. Something that will give us something that looks like or what we can do, you know what? Never mind an icon. Let's just say EDIT. And we can do that. We'll just name it edit as a caption. Icons are nice. They have to be bitmaps, as you saw. Now, we're on Whenever you're on a controller or something, remember in form design, we're here. Arrange will say how you want to arrange things in anchoring and your format here. So what we're going to do here, now the shape fill, we're going to do something with maybe a silver. I think it's a better kind of color off the blue. Let's see. Nope, nope, I like the other one. And what we're going to also do here is we're going to bold. All right, we're going to have to move this out just a little bit. All right, now we're then going to the shape outline. We can leave that perhaps, or we can make it a dark blue. Let's see. I don't think we're going to see much on that. We're going to undo it up here. All right, shape effects. Let's see if we can give us some nice, well, let's see what happens. You'll see these effects change it when it changes it. Soft edge, beveled edge. Okay, so we're going to choose a beveled edge. Okay, it looks like that. I think what we should do is just open this up a little bit. And down as well. Well, let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks okay. All right, now our edit key is down here. And as you see, we named it. We don't have a picture caption here. At some point, I'll show you how to change those picture captions or go to whatever picture you want, select one, and the parameters you must follow for that. Now, there's one other thing we need to do. Okay. And this is going to be your first, oh boy. Well, I don't really want to get into VBA, but I think I have to prevent, and let's just first save this. And now what's going to happen, as we said, with detail, anything in, we're not in single form, we're in continuous forms, will duplicate or replicate. Go back to form design and view. And there you see that key replicates itself. And nothing happens when I press it, because there is no code behind it. And as you also see, let's go into design view. Well, I don't actually need to worry about code for it anyhow. I don't have to. You can set the focus if you want, but we're going to right click on this and go to tab order. And we're going to make this our first tab. We're going to move it up. And we're going to set OK, and we're going to come to view again. And now you see we're no longer in that white region here. We're no longer like this because we're here. Okay? And now this may be, again, the word edit, seeing it that many times. We're going to change it to an icon in our next video. We're not doing it right now. We're not going to get that involved into it. But what we are going to do is, let's see, we're going to go into here, design view, and I am going to select both this and this, both of them. Let's see. Yep, right click, properties. We're going to hide them. Visible is no. And what we're going to then do is we're going to shrink these up and move them way over here. We're going to take the author and bring that over here. And what I think I'm going to do here is move this as close as I can to get it even and scroll back over here. And then we don't need this as well. All right, now we're going to look at, hold on a moment. Select both. Good. We'll move that over as well. Now, what I want to see here is let's see the size of this control. I'm going to go into format, and as you can see, let's see, its width is looks like 2.5, and its height is 0.2083. Its top, we're going to copy the top setting and or actually the left setting is the one we want. Where to the left it is, we're going to come over to this one here, right click, paste properties, and look at its left setting. And hopefully get them to be the same. We're going to also check out its width on the bottom. Let's see, its width is 2.25. Let's see what the one on top is. This is how you can get them to be even. Let's see, width is, yeah, 2.25. Whoop. Good. And let's view it. Now, as you can see here, all right, I'm going to also go back in the design view. I just noticed something. In here, in this particular control, we're going to change its caption. Author or authors. And we're also going to take this, the whole. Now you're wondering why it's keeping it wide. We're going to move this over like so. That's why it's making it wider than it should be. You go to view, and we're looking good. Okay, we can hit save up here at the top. So now we could add an ISB and we could add an author. Let us look at our temp tables. All right, there's a record in here. We're going to get rid of that. We should be open to a fresh record. It's going to say deleted. Probably the same. Not the same here. Nothing in this one. So we'll save it. And we'll close it. Now, when you open this form in our flow chart, okay, we're going to look at a flow chart today. When you open this particular form, you will always clear out. The first thing you do is you'll delete everything from the temp tables. All right? Everything. And you'll start fresh. And you'll begin to add a record. You'll begin to run VBA to commence the record and so on. Now, if I hit edit, it's going to be the same thing. And we're going to do this with an icon, and I'm going to tell you why. Seeing that edit replicated is a bit much for the eye. So we're going to use an edit pencil type of thing. Now let's look at a flow chart. I'm going to open up my Word. And let's look at our flow chart for data entry. And there we go. All right, so this is, actually let me choose a heading. Data entry for books application. All right. Okay. And we'll bring that to the center. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, let's see, insert and shapes and let's see, flow chart. We're going to do a flow chart from there. So our flow chart is going to be on the concepts of how things happen. All right. When we do that, so the first concept that we have is what? Or we could have is add a record, all right, or edit a record or something like that. So first one we're going to take in here is we're going to add this and say okay. And I don't like the color of that. It's way too dark for us. We'll change that to something nice. So add book. Add new book. Okay, that's our first one. Now, oops, sorry. Add new book. We're going to bring this over here too. All right. So to add a new book, what are some of the things we have to have present. Well, let's go to our flow chart again, our shapes. So we're going to have a decision or a validation or decision kind of tree. Let's see, do I see, looking for, usually on a decision you would have some sort of triangle, or we're going to take a basic shape here of a triangle, and we're going to flip it. Let's see if we can flip it around. I don't know if we can do that. Oh, this way. That's what we want. So let's delete that and let's add a new one. Well, we changed the shape of that, and I'm not too thrilled with that. Triangle. We flip it around. All right. So let's see. All right. And boy, let's select something very gentle for this. All right. We can make it larger, slightly larger, evenly. There we go. So we need to connect this. Go to shapes, go to arrow, connect it like that. And what we'll do here is, let's see. I may have to reconnect it because I don't think it was connected to. All right. Let's see if we can. All right. All right. Well, I wish I really had something like oh, what do they call that? Um, all right. So I wish I had a flowchart program, and there are some on the market. So here we're going to say, oh boy, what happened? Um, we have 4 fields and val. So let me, okay, I see. So fields, validation. All right. And what we're going to do here is, I think we have to change the size of this font. It's not really great in this triangle. We're going to come down, Let's bold it. Let's center it. Okay, good. Um, I think it will not allow me to. All right, we're not going to use a triangle then. What we're going to do is we're going to insert something other than a triangle. It's just not. Decision tree is usually a triangle with 3 points. So we will. Let's see in our flow chart. Oh, it's here. Here it is. Maybe I had the wrong one selected. Let's see. And let's make this one that bluish color that we had. Four fields. We'll just put in the word 4 fields. Let's see if we can. All right. 4 fields, val. And let's see our size of our font, 11. All right, well, we'll reduce that. And what we're going to do here is, We're almost. All right. Bold it. Okay, so 4 fields val. So what we're going to do here is, let's move this up and let's connect this. All right. So we need to do 4 fields validation. And those 4 fields, by the way, are, let me see if I can write for book. All right, for book fields validation. So on a yes, what would happen, right, would be, let's insert another shape. It could be another one of these. So let's take these two. We're going to select, whoops, sorry. We're going to select everything here, shift and select. And we're going to move all this over. And okay, and we're going to then, let's see, we need to have another color here. Then we're going to go add author. Authors or author. Uh, so here, let's see. This is going to be a yes. Let's up. Control Z. Let me see if I can add that text box. There it is. All right. So well, actually, I may be able to put it in here. Let's see if I can put text in here. Well, a yes will. This will be a yes. This will be a yes, and then our no over here will mean that. So on the yes, we then can add the author or authors, and then do a val on the authors as well. And when all of those things occur, our next step from add authors will be to validate the authors to make sure the data is there. And then when that's complete, then we can do our append and our delete queries. If we had a no here, this would mean, and what it would mean would be, what it would mean would be from here, a no would mean and let's give a color to this one. That'll look pretty good. No. Actually, let's we go to the fill. We should change the fill. Let's see, shape format. Oh, shape fill. Here we go. So, all right. So here, this no would be to cancel, and it's not in, it's in white, not black. Let's cancel, add, book, and then of course what you would do is you would set, let's see, right, cancel, add, book, and then what you would do is you would then set the focus to the form in question, the control in question. So, I mean, you could do something like this, or you could do it, believe it or not, in Excel. So you could have add new book as your first step. Then you could have validate for book fields. And then you can have um, add authors, validate authors. All right. Um, that's what you would do. Then you would append book, new book, append new authors. Actually, we're going to put this. And let's see, append new. Yeah, I gotta get this space. All right, append new authors, and then delete temp tables, requery forms. Now we start fresh. And then that's your flow for that, right? So hang on. So what if you were to edit book, you would actually follow, want to copy and paste. You'd follow the same pattern here, but you would update book, right? And you would update the authors if you made a change to an author, right? So that's what you would do. And same thing with now on this particular one here, let us, there's one step in this one here we've missed. Edit book phase. I'm going to make these bold so you know what the phase is of this. We're going to move these down. There's one thing we forgot. Append book to temp table. So we need an append query. And there's one more. It's probably easier doing it this way since graphically speaking, unless you have a very good program, and I'm going to try to get one for our next append authors to temp table. Now notice in our add new book, we're never appending because we're actually creating a new record in those tables in each time. But once you append it, oh, forgot one other thing. Once you append it, we're going to have to requery the forms. right? And then we have another portion of this, which is make edits. So we start off with appending the book to the temp table and the author or authors to, let me put that in the way it should be, to the temp table. I don't like that. And then we requery the forms. And what that does is, once that data is appended to those temp tables, it then flashes into that form. Now we see the data we have. And while we're at it, we have another portion of this. We will set forms to allow additions equals false. We won't want to have any additions, we want to have edits. So what happens is, all right, after you requery and set the forms to allow additions to false, you only have the ability to edit. That's it. So you make your edits, you validate for book fields that are edited. And we're going to say, actually edit book. We're going to say edit authors. All right. Update book. Once we're finished and we're happy, we can update the book, update the authors, delete the temp tables, and requery the forms, and we're done. Now we take a look at the add new book side as well. So here, the actual way it will work will be, let's move this down a few. We add new book. All right. And we don't have to worry about setting the main form to allow additions equals false because we only have single record, right? So we can leave it as is. However, we add authors. Actually, we have that. All right, we'll take this one and move these up. So in other words, then we will validate our book fields. We'll add the authors, and here is where it is. So let's move this one down. And we're going to take the... All right, there we go. Let's open that up. Fine. To false, to true. I'm sorry, to true. To true here. We add the authors, and then what we do after each author is added, to false. And we repeat this cycle here. This cycle here as we're adding each author. So we will set it to true, add the author, then set it to false. And so we'll only have one author. If we want another author, we'll add it to true, set it to true, add the author, set it to false, we'll have our two authors. And also, while we're on the subject here, and we don't have a mention that we're saving or we're saving the records, so we don't have a mention on that one. And, but we actually are, so we're going to have that as part of our flow. in any case. When we edit something, we can do the save as part of the prior to us updating, right? But here, we should save the book as we either get to the last field or the first field or whatever it might be, right? In any event, what you're seeing here is what you need to know in the flow of events and what you're doing, whether it's adding a book, whether it's editing a book. So you can also see that many of the things are similar, right? Editing is a little more involved. We're going to append the data first that we select. Let me select that icon, for example. Here, boom. What's going to happen is we will append the data for the book and the author. Well, actually, it's only the book. Sorry. Take that back. Let's get rid of that. We're not dealing with the authors. Well, no, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because we're going to bring them both in here and here. We don't know what the authors are. We don't see them here, but we are going to bring them there, right? And we're going to requery the forms so we can populate everything. Set the forms to allow additions equals false. We don't want to add anything. We want to edit. The edits will be true, and they should be true. And then we're going to edit the book, validate the book fields. We're going to edit the authors, validate the authors, make sure that data is there. We're going to update the book, update the authors, delete the temp tables, and requery the forms back to square one. Adding a new book, as you can see, is a little less involved because when we're adding a new book, we're putting a new entry into our temp table. So we add the new book, we validate those book fields, and set the forms to allow addition. It should be the author's form, really. Set author's form. Not set forms, but set author form. To allow additions equal true. That's the only one we need to worry about. And here, false. Now, over here, it should be the same thing. It's only the authors. To true. On the edit, no, false. I'm sorry. It would be false. Yeah. Set actually set all the forms, not just the authors. Hang on. Yeah. So in other words, here we're saying we're not going to add more than one book, and we're not going to add more than one author, or more than however many authors there are. We're just going to edit the current authors that exist. That's what we're going to do. And after each editorial or each edition, we're going to be sure we save the changes that we make. All right. So sorry for that little yawn there. I'm a little tired today. But anyway, so we're really polished here. We haven't done anything with code yet. So what I want to do when I come back is I've shown you some of the controls up here. I want to show you as many as possible in the next presentation, but I also want to maybe in the presentation after that get into placing images and things like that onto your form and things of that nature. Now, you can see here from this particular form, and there's no way to move it. And there's code, believe it or not, that you can set in that you can allow an end user, somebody to move a form if they require that. I've done it for clients. So what I'm going to say here as I close is that this is a little bit better, in my opinion, than what we started with. We're still not there yet. We don't need to have necessarily the ISBN mentioned in this subform. And I think having this particular scroll bar is good. So as we add books to this table, we're going to see it change. Okay. And this particular subform for authors is linked to our temp table, as is our books. This one is linked to our main table. So there's a difference there, right? Uh, you have to have that scope in your head. Where's the data linked to? Could I use a subform for more than one idea? The answer is yes. But you have to get into VBA code when you change the record source of the form. All right, and it's possible. It certainly is possible to do that, but it's involved. And maybe what we'll do is when we do the editing, because you have to remember, well, it doesn't matter with the editing, because if we had 2 or 3 authors here and we appended them, it wouldn't matter. Now, as you know, in our queries, we're appending from the temp tables to the main table, and we're deleting from the temp tables. There's nothing appending from the main table back to the temp table. And that's what I'm going to show you actually before I get into the other controls in our next video, because I want you to see for the edit capability how I will populate both this and how it's going to work when you select this edit button. What's going to happen. Now, the only unique field we have is this one, which is our ISBN. And that's going to be the field that when we select it, we're going to look at the main table, we're going to find it, and we're going to append it based on that selection. So I'm going to simulate it without code, because without code you can see how difficult it is to carry out tasks. That's why code is so important, VBA code. So anyway, like and subscribe wherever you are. Have a great evening, morning, day, afternoon, and I will see you next time. Keep it here. I'm the database guy.